Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first professionally shot, quick out the blocks. Well, I guess it's pretty much in conjunction with Charlotte Vibe because we're kind of in the same place. We got the same personnel.
Okay, I'll take it.
So I'm not even going to tell you guys what happened prior to this video.
What happened?
We're just going to start here. That's the past.
The rain.
Yeah,
you talking about the rain?
Yeah, I'm talking about the rain. Guys, today we are talking Panthers versus Redskins coming up this Sunday.
Yep.
What's your storyline for this week's game?
Storyline for this week is, will Josh, actually, it's not even Josh. My storyline is, will the offense, will we see good use of all the weapons? Like, I don't want to see Greg Olsen get all the yards. I don't want to see Christian McCaffrey have all the, I want to see evenly distributed success. I know I didn't say that word right, but y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Speaking of Greg, this is Greg's first game back since the Cowboys game. But we're also, the Carolina Panthers are also getting Thomas Davis.
We're part of it. We're part of it. We're there all the time.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Right.
Well, Thomas Davis will be active for the first time this season after, if you guys aren't aware, he served a 4-game suspension for a PED violation. So it's good for the defense to have him back. I think he'll be the most impactful player that's going to be back on the field on Sunday for the Panthers. Chris?
Disagrees. I disagree.
Between Greg Olsen and Thomas Davis, let's be clear. Between Thomas Davis and Greg Olsen, I think Davis
will have a bigger impact. So how are we going to measure this? Stats or fans?
We're definitely not going to measure. I'm interested to see what the fans think, but I think you have to look at the stats. You have to look at the pass rush, which has pretty much been non-existent the past couple of games. I mean, it's definitely been on the face of a milk carton these past couple of weeks, but I think those are the measurables and how many yards are given up by the defense. Because as we were talking earlier, kind of off the record, I guess it was but it was off the record for this purpose. Carolina has one of the best starting defenses in the league on paper when you factor in Thomas Davis. Yeah,
that is really, really, really good.
So what are your measurables?
My measurables?
Yeah, what are your measurables?
My measurables. The margin of victory.
Okay.
Margin of victory. That's what I'm.
So if they win by a larger amount, would you feel that Olsen was more?
Yes.
And how so? If the defense does their job and limits the amount of points, then you can still have that same point
If the defense does their job, our offense has, even though it hasn't performed how I want it to, it's been successful all season, right?
I think everybody's kind of on the brink. Like, that's the thing about this Panthers team is that they're right there at the door.
He was knocking. I saw that.
They're knocking. The finger is on the doorbell, but they haven't just burst through with the potential that, like I said, like we see on paper.
Yeah, yeah. So I say if it's not a big margin, that means that the defense didn't stop them. Because I feel like the offense is going to score, right? So I'm saying the offense is definitely going to have, let's just say 20 points. My predictions are a different score, but let's say they have at least 20 points, right? Okay. Well, if the defense doesn't do their job, they're probably going to have like 14 points, 17 points. So the margin is going to be small.
Okay. Well, guys, there you have it. If you agree with Chris that Olsen will be more impactful,
he will.
Let us know in the comments. But if you believe me, that Thomas Davis will be the biggest factor in Sunday's game, then drop those comments below also.
Thomas Davis will have a good game. Actually, I don't even think he's going to have a great game. Because you know what? I don't think he's as in shape as Greg is in shape.
Why do you say that?
Because he hasn't played all season.
Greg played a couple downs. I mean, I'm just saying. He played a couple downs. You can't use that.
All right.
Because we don't know what he was doing outside.
But he's been on the practice field.
Yeah, but we don't know what Thomas was doing, what Davis was doing as far as staying in shape and things like that. Because, per the rules, he's not able to be at the stadium working out. So you don't know what shape he's in. I mean, he's a vet. I'm pretty sure he made sure that he.
Okay, Sheena.
I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure he stayed in game shape. I'm Team Davis all over.
You are. Okay.
So aside from those roster moves and those two being reactivated, injury report.
Yeah.
So it was good to see a lot of those guys that were on the did not participate list on Wednesday were in action at today's practice, albeit with the rain. They were in action with the exception of Demir Bird.
Yep.
And according to Ron, after yesterday's practice, Demir was very sore. Came in today, his ankle was a little stiff.
How did he get hurt after yesterday's practice that was in the rain, on grass, and they had on shells?
Maybe he tweaked it in the rain.
They didn't even do any real action.
Guys, I'm not making light of this in any way, but I think that Demir is auditioning for a part in Unbreakable 2.
He might get it. I think Demir is unfortunately on his way out. Not like he's going to get fired or going to terminate him or anything like that, but I think when it comes time for next year, him making a roster, they're going to look at all these injuries that he's had. They're going to look at their current personnel and say, it's time that we move on from him. You know, I hope that's not the case, but just in doing our job, that's what I feel like is going to happen with him.
I agree with you there. Just, you know, the draft of DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a monster after he catches the ball. I call him Mr. Yak. Not yak like cognac, but yards after catch.
Why do you think about cognac?
Everybody thinks about cognac.
Defend yourself.
Everyone thinks about cognac. But I do think that, you know, some of those things and some of the shiftiness and speed that Demir Bird brought to the team, they're getting in other players, and these players are actually staying healthy. So his durability has to be a measure of concern going forward as the Panthers go through the draft and off-season free agency and things.
Now, granted, his replacement, Curtis Samuel, has been banged up as well.
He's been banged up as well. I'm not going to comment on that because I think I jinxed Curtis last season. I think I did. As soon as I sent that tweet out, like the very next time he touched the ball, he was done for the season.
In Jacksonville. You did that? Okay. Hold your head up. But I think there's still more optimism on Curtis than it is Demir, because Demir's, you know, unproven. He's been around, what, 4 years maybe now?
Give or take, yeah.
Curtis is younger. Seems younger. A little bigger.
He's sturdier.
Yeah.
So, he's still kind of struggling. Well, in Curtis's defense, this season, it was a medical issue as opposed to an injury.
Yeah.
So,
but he did have an injury, though, before the medical, didn't he?
Yeah, but it wasn't anything that, you know, was going to take him out for the season or anything like that. It was a little ding.
It is football, right?
It was a little ding.
Okay.
So, with that being said, you were talking about how you wondered how Demir got hurt. I mean, they were practicing outside in the rain yesterday. So, David Tepper, if you're watching, this is the bid for an indoor facility. And, I mean, the culture and everything else is changing around Bank of America.
Right.
So, I mean, why not?
Why not make them pansies, play in a dome?
Well, listen, Tepper's the third richest NFL owner.
Yeah.
I think we see an indoor facility in the next couple of years.
And I want you guys to leave comments to get Tepper to come on Sheena's show. I think that'd be like great.
Listen, if you guys can do that,
retweet
you know what? I think I'm gonna proposition him in the elevator because he rides down with the media. He's very much an owner of the people.
Yeah.
Like he's very much a people guy. So.
You got a card on you?
I always have a card on me.
Okay. Let me know when you're gonna do it so I can behind the scenes.
You mentioned Josh Norman a little bit. Let's touch on that just a little bit. Of course, with the Redskins being this week's opponent, you know, and Josh's last team being the Carolina Panthers, and the way that he left, and the way they lost him to free agency, of course, there's going to be some talk of Josh Norman and facing his old team and things like that. But, this isn't the Josh Norman of 2015 that they will see.
Nah, it ain't that Josh. It ain't that Josh. You know, Josh isn't what he was when he was here with Carolina.
All right. Why do you think that is?
I think that the scheme did have something to do with it. You know, the defense that you're playing. And I'm not a scheme guru.
So you're saying that Josh Norman's productivity was a product of the scheme and not skill?
I'm going to say it wasn't solely the scheme. I'm not saying like you could stick a dummy, like you could stick me in there and I could play like Josh Norman. You have to have some athletic ability and some talents to go with it. You have to have that fierce mentality. You have to have that. Anyway, so you have to have something else. I'm not saying the soul thing.
Yeah, you're right.
But since Josh has been in Washington, he hasn't been anything near what he was here. And not that he's been bad. He's just been a solid player. But he's not been the richest. He's not been the highest paid cornerback in the league player.
Well, I think that being benched at halftime of Monday night's game against the Saints, you know, they took a whooping, 43-19.
Well,
that's a pretty good slap around.
Yeah.
He was benched at halftime. Do you think that's the lowest point of his career after he reached the pinnacle of success that he did here in Charlotte?
Nah.
You don't think that's the low?
Nah. I think he
still has. Go further?
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess so, but I mean, not for what our expectations are for him. Like, we're not talking about a run-of-the-mill cornerback.
Right.
Josh likes to talk trash.
He does.
He has to be able to back that up.
He does.
I mean, I hated to see him kind of go up in flames on Monday night after the game because he lost the trash talk.
Ooh, he did. He did lose that trash talk.
Michael Thomas, he lost the I mean, his handlers can't guard Mike. So far, the league has proven that they can't guard Mike. So.
And then when you delete your tweets, that's the biggest thing I didn't like with Josh. Like
Josh, you can't delete tweets, homie.
You can't be like, yo, you ain't. No, I ain't said. Never mind. I'm walking away. You can't do that.
Can't delete tweets. I think that Josh needs to get on the phone with Cam after this weekend.
You want to call Josh?
Let's call Josh. I think we need to shore up that. We need to shore up his trash talking because we can't be out here deleting tweets.
No, you can't.
Cornerback, you're a rude boy. You gotta have swag. You can't delete your swag.
Yeah. He lost on that. So I just don't feel like that was his lowest point. Because here's why I say that. I feel like a guy like Josh could have a lower point because he's so etchy, right? He's so aggressive.
Yeah.
So you get a guy that still thinks that has that mentality of all that aggression, but then his talents ain't there. You know he's going to go to bark one more time where you like, everybody, oh, man, he is like, shut up, Josh, you ain't got it right now. My 2 cents. Moving on.
Speaking of Carolina's scheme and them not being able to just throw anybody in there, we saw the number of takeaways and things like that dwindle in the last couple of years. They've kind of had, a revolving door in the secondary.
Yeah.
This year is pretty much kind of the most complete secondary that we've seen from Carolina since that 2015 Super Bowl appearance. And a guy that's getting a lot of Josh Norman comparisons is Dante Jackson, mostly because of the trash talk. But I mean, 3 picks in 4 games as a rookie, you can talk your trash. You can. And talking to people around the stadium and talking to Dante himself, he says that's where the similarities between he and Josh Norman. What do you think?
He is a different type of. Well, the thing about Dante is his speed.
Right.
That's a huge difference. All the speed that he has that gives him abilities and opportunities other guys just can't have.
I challenged him to like a race until I watched his combine video, and I just was like, I felt like Homer Simpson. You know how you backed into the bushes? I was like, you know what? I'm good on that. You got it.
You're not sure it's not gonna happen?
Nah, I might give him a good 10 yards. Yeah,
10?
I might be able to beat him in 10 yards.
40-yard dash, so you running 30, he running 40.
I'm going to run 10. We going to both run 10
You ain't going
yards.
to beat him in 10?
I'm going to trip him.
Okay.
I'll shoestring tackle him so he won't be, out for any time or anything like that.
Don't make sure he don't hurt himself.
Yeah, he ain't going to get hurt.
But Dante is a different player. His speed is the biggest difference. But they do honestly have some similarities in their style with their aggression and their trash talking and their ability.
I think that's what they needed. I think that's what was missing from that secondary. I think that's definitely what's needed. Secondary has 4 interceptions as a unit.
Right.
So far, with Mike Adams getting the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they have any type of little competition.
Oh, it is. I just feel like James is sitting in the middle because in the locker room is.
But James is just as instrumental in those picks.
He is because he
just doesn't have that stat line. There's a lot of intangibles about James Bradbury. He's quietly etching his name in as one of the league's best corners. He's facing the league's top receivers, and he's pretty much keeping them in check for the most part.
He really kind of had an interception last week against Odell.
Yeah.
But and I asked him about that. I said, "Did you have that?" And he said, "The way that James talked, James but he said that Odell, he said he had some stronger hands than he realized, and he really just took the ball back away from him. He's going to work on that, but yeah, I think there's some competition that James wants to get on that list."
So it'll be interesting to see in a short week how the Redskins respond. That defense, although they gave up that 43 points, and Drew Brees got the record, but he became the all-time leading passer, which he was going to do that on
Oh
anybody.
yeah.
He was going to do that. Unfortunately, it had to be y'all. But the Redskins defense, it's a pretty stout defense coming into this game on Sunday. They're 5th in total yards defense. Mm-hmm. They are 6th in rushing defense, and they're 7th in passing. So it'll be a pretty good game. I think if Carolina's offense clicks on all cylinders, they win, no doubt.
Okay.
And by a pretty sizable margin.
What's your score prediction?
My score prediction.
Are you willing to give the people a score prediction?
My score prediction, guys, I'm going to change it from what I was thinking earlier. I want to say Carolina Panthers 30.
30. Okay.
Washington Redskins.
That's a lot of points.
Washington Redskins.
How'd you get to 30? What's that? 3 touchdowns. And how'd you get to 30?
3 touchdowns, 3 field goals.
Okay. Graham Cano.
Graham
Cano. All right.
And I think it's going to be Carolina 30, Redskins 13.
Okay. You remember my prediction?
Nope.
27.
You said 27-14.
What did I say, 13? I think it's 27-13.
So we both agree they'll score around the vicinity of 13 points. But either way, Chris and I will be riding together.
We will.
He doesn't like to say that I'll just be riding. Like he won't be driving.
Because I'm not going to be like
driving Miss Sheena or anything like that.
Right. Can I get a nap in during the trip?
Not for.
Because I need the rest.
Get to your hotel.
Man. Okay.
No rest for the weary.
I guess not.
Either way, guys, leave your comments and predictions in the comment field below. You guys can follow Chris at Charlotte Vibe on all social media networks. And you can follow me if you're not already on Sheena_Marie3 on Twitter and Instagram. We do a lot of live feeds and updates and real-time things, especially leading up to the game and on game day. So
not only subscribe, but you got to hit the notification button. That way when she goes live, you can interact and chat. Otherwise, you're just going to come to it later and see it. So make sure you also hit the notification.
So guys, make sure you guys are following on IG too, because on the ride up there, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty entertaining.
Nope.
It'll be pretty entertaining.
I'm boring.
He is boring, but I like to bring some spice into his life. So you guys can, I guess, interact with us, make our drive just a little bit shorter.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right. And we will see you guys on Sunday. Keep pounding.